Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. And today, my good friend Terry is going to be with me, and we are going to have an amazing conversation. So you do not want to miss it. Make sure you share this out. Tell everybody we're on. Here we go. Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Special thank you to our sponsors of Marketing with Russ, the Hounds of Business Community, Liz Lawless and Author Adventures, the Master Connector Show, and Aging Better Network with Christine Smith. For more information on the Hounds of Business Community and Mike Asherbanner, go to the Hounds of Business Community on LinkedIn. And for more information on Liz Lawless and Author Adventures and how to get your book written, go to lizlawless.com. And for more information on the Master Connector Show and the amazing Wednesday 1 p.m. Eastern show, go to masterconnector.show. And finally, for Aging Better Network and Christine Smith, go to agingbetternetwork.com. Music by Connor Hedge and Protestant, used with permission. Ta-da! Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. Wow, I almost said the wrong show. There you go. That doesn't happen very often. So thankful you're here today on Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. You know, it is such a blessing in this community. I am just overwhelmed every week by the amazing friends and community we have that are engaged and want to present value and a better life and be significant in all that they do. People that are filled with purpose, intention, and a good perspective. You know, I wrote about it in my book. Life happens and then you choose. Keep it a good perspective. No matter what's going on is so important in life. Remember, you are not your circumstances. You are not defined by your circumstances. You can do amazing things in spite of your circumstances. So get out there and do that today. And that's what we're all about on Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. You know, I was just telling somebody the other day the story. It's been a little while, so I'll tell you quick. Some people ask me, what in the world is hashtag Russ Selfie? When did that start? Well, I'm telling you, I was on a East Coast trip with my family, and I was trying to take a selfie of my family with the at the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., with the whole park behind me, whatever they call that, and going down to the Washington Monument and all that. So I was having such a rough time. My son just shook his head and said, "Dad, just give me the phone." And he took the selfie. So I thought, well, I've got to learn how to do that. Well, we moved on. We ended up in New York next, and we were in the subway. What I used to do is give my camera to somebody and have them take a picture. You know, if somebody runs away with your camera, not a big deal, but I handed them my phone and realized all my money and cash and credit cards and everything were in there. And I had just handed him basically my life there. So I prayed on the way back when he was going to take the picture, please help him be a nice young man and give me my phone back, which he did, but I decided I couldn't do that anymore. So got home, started taking selfie at business events, at networking events, at meetings, and I found out that people loved it and it was a great connection tool. So I started doing that more, and somebody said, man, you do this all the time. You've got to have your own hashtag. Thus, the hashtag Russ Selfie was born. There are thousands and thousands of them online now. So you can check that out on all social media. But anyway, okay, there's the story. But you know what? I'm all about connection. Like I said, this hashtag Russ Selfie was a great connection tool. And that is what we're all about here. We're all about how amazing people connect. That's right. Amazing people connect. And, you know, Terry's one of those amazing people. Had him on before, an amazing guy. And we're going to talk more. We had so much to talk about. We had to extend it to another show. I would love to connect with you at russedge.com if we haven't connected yet. So please do that. Let me know, if we can, if I can help you in any way. You can connect through social media, my email, my phone number. You can even schedule time to Zoom with me on my calendar. So just schedule time. I would love to do that, get to know you. Also, please subscribe on YouTube. Our YouTube is just blowing up, and such a great community there with all of the thousands of people that have been on all my shows. So not just Marketing with Russ, but also on the Experience Live with Russ and Scott, the Experience Local, Russ Reels Live. So there's a lot there, a lot. So check that out and subscribe today. I'd appreciate that. Also, you know what? Everybody gets busy, so please share this out. Tag your friends. Let them know we're on. Terry's going to be on. Make sure that they have an opportunity to listen. But remember, this show is here for your viewing and listening pleasure. I would love to have you listen live and engage, but if you can't, it sits on LinkedIn and YouTube forever, afterwards, and on Facebook for 30 days. So you could go back forever and watch, rewatch, share, connect. You know, all the information is there for you to engage and connect with me, with the guests, with people in the comments. So many opportunities. So please do that today. Also, it converts into audio podcasts, so you can listen on iTunes, Spotify, or Apple Podcast, and whatever, Amazon, iHeartRadio. It goes on and on and on. So whatever podcast platform you like, we're probably on there. So there you go. Also, at my, I'm going to say at russedge.com, all the information about me, including information on my book, Life Happens, Then You Choose. It will bounce you to Amazon. You can go straight to Amazon if you want, to my author page. All my books are available there. I just want to highlight the current one, because if you need encouragement, if you need a life with a good perspective, go there and purchase the book today, because I tell you, it has already helped thousands of people, and it's going to help you. I can tell you, because it's something God put within me to show people, as I've gone through my cancer journey, that even when you're going through struggles, you can come out the other side with a good perspective in spite of sometimes not real fun times. You know, we're not happy all the time, I can tell you that, but you can always keep the joy of the Lord in a good perspective. And so there you go. Okay. Then also every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're here. We do the marketing tip of the day. And today is going to be a great one. And so this will get cut out, put separately on YouTube Shorts, social media, all that kind of stuff. So you can actually share just the marketing tip of the day. And so I hope I hope this one blesses you today, because it was inspired by a gentleman I spoke to earlier today. And I think this will bless you today. So here you go. Are you ready? This is your marketing tip of the day. Everybody has a story. That's right. You know what? Everybody has a story, and everybody loves a story. There's lots of stories in my book, Life Happens and Then You Choose. But everybody, as my good friend D. Scott Smith says, has a book in them. Everybody has stories to share. God has given you a life and a purpose and a direction to help others through your journey. And you know what? Everybody's got stories that are going to bless someone. And, you know, we're not all international best-selling authors or New York Times best-selling authors, but we all can reach certain segment of people and inspire and encourage them through what we go through in life. So everybody has a story in them. And today I want to encourage you, whether it's in book form, whether it's a newsletter, whether you just share it in posts on social media, or whether you speak about it and share it with friends and family. Get out there today, share your story, because everybody has a story in them. And that is your marketing tip of the day. All right, there we go. Let's get Terry in the room and get this show started. Hey, Terry, how's it going?
I'm awesome. Thank you so much for having me back. I'm a returning guest. I feel like it's somewhat of a Saturday Night Live thing. Are we going to get jackets at some point or blazers to commemorate?
I think we should. That's a great idea. I love it. So, no, you know what? When I have amazing people like you that I'm having such a great conversation with, and it has to get cut short, I like the short and sweet live streams, but I always want to bring people like that back. So that's why you're here. And for those people, Terry, that did not hear you the first time, which I'm sure there's a couple, tell everybody, who in the world is Terry and what are you up to?
Who in the world am I? I am a devoted father of two kids, Milo and Noel, 7 and 10, and a devoted husband to Kirsten. My family lives here in San Francisco, but I'm originally from the East Coast in New York. Currently, I am the partner and chief operating officer at a brilliant Blue Flame advertising agency startup called the Nuance Collective. And we can sort of talk about the journey that got me from the beginnings of my career to here. But that's me in a nutshell. If it's okay, Russ, you raised a point with the marketing tip of the day that is so prescient today. And that is the notion of stories and the fact that everyone has a story. There is a lot of chatter in the ether and the marketing ether and LinkedIn about the need for more storytelling in marketing today. There was a Wall Street Journal article that came out a couple of weeks ago, and that was the headline. There are innumerable open roles in marketing today, though many may not think that they exist, with storytelling as part of the remit. And it's fascinating because I just wrote a piece on this in LinkedIn, and it really struck home with me, this notion that we all have stories, brands have stories, but there's an opportunity to tell them in much better and more emotionally impactful ways. If you think about stories, right, particularly oral ones, they're kind of the first forms of communication, right? They predate mathematics, they predate the written word. Stone dwelling folks, stories were how people communicated back in the day. So in a sense, in marketing, we've gone back to the beginning. And the reason why I was writing about this was stories are incredibly important, and they will become ever more important in our discipline because of the advent of AI, and particularly voice AI. Now, here's the crazy thing. If you think about how we do, we sort of conduct and manage and lead AI right now, it's all with your fingers, right? It's all about the prompts that you are able to type into the various engines. Some are good and some are fast and some are slow at it. I'm slow at it. I wish I could go back in time and kick my high school self to pay attention during typing class, but I'm slow at it, right? So my ability to use AI to generate content is slower than others, but it's, again, all at the speed of how fast I can type. If you think about where we are, voice AI changes the whole shooting match, because we speak, as we're doing now, a heck of a lot faster than we type, right? It's like the thoughts that we have get translated and communicated to our mouths in infinitely faster ways than our hands. So as we move into 26, 27, 28, the amount of content that we will all be able to produce in marketing is going to be so much greater and voluminous And that's going to be ultimately a good thing. Yes, it leads to questions around AI slop, but within that moments of magic and understanding, and to your earliest point, connection. But storytelling is going to be that differentiator that takes what is a sea of content, and for brands and for people, the breakthrough through all of that is storytelling, right? If you think about the premium that's going to be placed on storytelling, because we're going to need to break through in ever harder ways and channels, that's only going to increase as the price to produce content, e.g. through things like voice AI, approach zero. So differentiation is going to be about storytelling, just not in the way I think that the Wall Street Journal article has it posited. So we're at the cusp of something so pretty daunting, but pretty amazing.
They love you already. They love you already. That was great. No, I've always wanted to try that. So I just thought I would throw that because what you're saying, I agree 100% with. In fact, what is so exciting, Terry, is what we can't even fathom, I don't think, what's going to happen in the next couple of years in AI. I think things are moving so quickly, and AI is exponentially speeding those up. Just like you said, I mean, I do voice texting all the time, and I do voice writing all the time. Have done that for a long time before all the current AI stuff was out, right? That is such a huge thing, and I can type just fine, but it's still way faster because typing on phones does not work good for me because I learned how to type, not how to use my thumb.
Yeah.
So I'm slower with that. But there are so many, it's such a great tool. And I think some people just need to get over being so fearful of AI and learn that it is a tool that you control that can help you tremendously if you allow it. I mean, for research, for just information for branding and marketing. Oh my goodness, it is amazing. We're going on a vacation. It's written an itinerary for me for the vacation. Actually, I've had it write 4 itineraries. I'm picking and choosing what I like, Yeah. But it's amazing. Within really seconds, it pulls out all this amazing stuff. So I love that. And, a lot of people too struggle. And people need people like you, Terry. People need people like both of us that can help them out in marketing and their branding and whatever they're doing and their visibility. But sometimes it helps just to get a quick double check on things, get some information. And I'm telling you, AI is good at that, at getting things quickly to you. Talk a little bit more about the benefits of just really helping you along, not taking over for you, but helping you along.
Yeah, I think that there's a well-founded worry about, to your point, AI taking over your job, your thinking, et cetera. And there's an article every day about it, like the hyperbole around its impact is an echo chamber where we exist is frightening. Again, I think it's some hype, but we're going to get there. The benefits of AI are a lot of things that you just sort of teed up. It is a wonderful tool that can automate things like operations for you. Like you were talking about your travel itinerary, right? How many hours did it save you? So operational efficiency in terms of automation. 2 is idea generation. Again, as sort of thought starters, you have to curate those things. That's where the wonderment of the human brain and heart continue to be of value. But it can be a guide and a tool and a resource for idea generation. It can help on research. There's things called synthetic research, where if you think about marketing, how hard it is to get and recruit people and then ask them a number of different questions, et cetera. You can do research through sort of synthetic means now. And I'm going to make a quick plug. The guys at Evidenza are at the forefront of that. So there's all sorts of ways where AI can absolutely think and help. It's a learning. Remember, folks, it is predicated on learning, and so the more you provide it, the better it will come back to you with helpful information. But it's learning, and it's learning at a speed and scale that we have never ever seen. And so we should
let me jump in there real quick, because I just want to say it not only learns from everything that it gets off the internet, but it learns from you too. It learns your tendencies.
Yes.
When I ask it to edit my writing for grammar and spelling and provide me some tips, maybe on some clarity, it has picked up things about me and what I would do and what I would say. Because when it gives me ideas, they sound a lot like me. You know, it's a good way to help with that. But what you said too is, the research part. And the other day, this is something I'll just throw in there and then I'll let you pick it back up. I was looking for keywords to use to help get more engagement on live streams, on my podcast, things like that. If you give it the right information and what you're looking for, like you said, it's somebody to bounce ideas off of, and it sends you back great ideas and thoughts and stuff about using keywords, about using marketing terms, whatever. It's amazing. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. And no, what I was going to say is, because it's a learning tool, and to your point, it's about, yes, scraping all things from machines and the internet to learn. It learns from you, and so it's all about the inputs and the prompts that you provide. But make no mistake, its learning will continue, and whilst it doesn't have sort of emotions attached to it, it will be able to sort of learn yours, and hopefully provide some counsel, some information, some direction, again, depending on what you're asking it to do and to help for. So it doesn't have feelings, but gosh darn, it's going to continue to learn more about you and what makes you tick to hopefully sort of be helpful. But again, it's about you still remaining in control of it versus sort of what you see and hear in the chatter about it sort of taking over our lives. We are still about control and managing it and agency and choice, which, to your point at the very top of the call, like we're still masters of our own destiny.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, it's kind of mind boggling, all of the opportunities, but I think what we're really saying to people here is there's great tools and opportunity for you in all that you're doing, whether it's your marketing, whether it's your business research, whatever it's doing. And really, you need to get going. I mean, this wasn't initially just about AI, but I'm telling everybody, you need to get going and utilize those tools, or you're going to be left way behind, because it is such a valuable source of information. And of course, everybody's got to double check. AI doesn't know everything, right? And not all of it is correct. So you've got to double check stuff. But there's such, like you said, my vacation with my family, I would have been researching for a few hours. It took about a minute and a half to dump out about 2 or 3 itineraries, right? With tons of information that I can go back in now and look at and say, oh yeah, like that. And then I can capsulize the whole thing. But it also, in that, by the way, if anybody's interested in a vacation, it tells you transportation. It tells you things to look for, all kinds of stuff about where you're going. And so that information is power and helps you along with everything you're doing. So currently, outside of, you have a day job on top of your normal marketing coaching, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So outside of the day job, what's the number one thing if somebody calls into you and says, okay, all of this is blowing my mind. I don't get AI. I don't understand. I need to market my business. Help me. Give me a couple of minutes on how you're going to direct them and help them, and why somebody like you, Terry, is so valuable.
if I'm getting the question right, it's like, so if somebody's calling me to get some counsel on how to use marketing to sort of grow their business, I'm going to make it a quick small plug back to the agency that I'm with, and AI, Russ. The first thing you got to do is sort of understand your total addressable market, how big your prospects are for your small business, right? Like how many people can conceivably transact and do business with you. Now that's the total. Now that needs to be subdivided into like, okay, well, who's actually what they call serviceable? So a SAM, right? Because not everybody in the universe, even in your total addressable market, are potential, are real customers. They're potential customers for real. So then you take that universe, and then you understand what their motivations are for buying or not buying your product or service. And you can use AI. At the Nuance Collective, where I'm a partner at, we have some really wonderful proprietary tools to understand, and by the way, to size the market, but two, to understand that connection point or not between your small business and what you provide and offer, and that target set, that audience that you are trying to convert to purchases and businesses. You then go to, okay, I've sized the audience. I have an understanding of who they are relative to my brand and product and service offering, their motivations, their purchase and motivations. And then you start to develop some marketing plans, which again, AI is going to be able to accelerate at unprecedented speed for you. You develop marketing plans and messaging and media channels to go target those audiences with the most relevant and resonant messages. Like that's at like 30,000 feet. It sounds complicated, but it's really a linear process by which you're taking what you want to do and the dollars that you have from a marketing perspective and an investment perspective, and formalizing an approach and putting them to work.
Well, I love that, because basically you're meeting people where they are, you're figuring out where they need to go and want to go, and you're helping them get there. And you're utilizing AI and the tools and all of that to help them and to encourage them to help themselves. Yeah. And Terry, I tell you, it's always amazing, but why does this go so fast? I can be talking for hours. What I really want from you today, because you are just full of such great information, tell everybody your gold nugget of today, what you really want them to remember, and then remind them how to get in touch with you, because I want to be propelling people your direction. And so make sure people know how to get in touch with you, and we'll have all that in the comments and show notes. Well, it's been in the comments and it'll be in the show notes, so they can click on that and go there. But remind everybody, but first, your gold nugget of the day. Go ahead.
Yeah, it goes back to the beginning and your marketing tip, which is that storytelling could be marketing's lifeboat with the advent of voice AI and AI. Storytelling is going to be the differentiator. I can be reached, and other folks who can help tell your stories. I can be reached at Terry, Terry, at thenuancecollective.net. We'd love to help you guys tell your stories.
And that is in the comments, so everybody can click on that. Also, have had your LinkedIn ticking along the bottom, and I don't know how active you are on LinkedIn, but I think you are active there as well. Yep. So yeah, awesome. And Terry, I'm telling you, you are a blessing, and definitely somebody that people need to reach out to, because you're seeing what the future is. You're seeing where you can help people get there with utilizing what they have before them. And back to the very beginning, like you said, everybody loves a good story. So learn how to tell the story that reaches the customers you want to reach, the people you want to reach. And all Terry's information is there. Reach out to him today. I want to encourage everybody to do that. And I just want to thank you so much again for being here. In the future, we're going to have to do this again, because you and I can talk for hours. Oh my goodness.
I would love to. Wow. Anytime. Yeah. Russ.
All right. Well, Terry, listen, I'm going to say goodbye to you on camera, but hang tight in the green room. I'll be right there.
Okay.
Wow. What an amazing guy. I'm telling you guys, you need to reach out to Terry today. And so much great information, so many great ideas, and so much good experience that can help you. So much, so many great ideas. So anyway, all right. Well, listen, I want to thank you for being here. We're here on Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie, every Monday and Thursday, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget, it sits on LinkedIn and YouTube forever and Facebook for 30 days after that. So you can go back and watch it or share it, just like you're watching live. And then if you don't have time to watch, listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Pandora, XM Radio. It goes on and on. Please just engage whatever your favorite platform is. Please comment and like and share. That really helps us. Appreciate you all for doing that. And with that, we're going to call it good for another week. And just want to remind you, you can go to russhedge.com to get all of my information and to get copies of my book. So there it is, russhedge.com. Also want to remind you, this show, besides our sponsors, we are also listener supported. So please go there, scan the QR code, or go to the link in the comments, and you can support the production costs of this show that help us keep going and have amazing people like Terry on. So thank you so much for that. For all of you that support us already, thank you, thank you, thank you. And with that, we're gone for another week. Have an amazing, amazing rest of your week, and we'll talk to you soon. All right. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka hashtag Russ Selfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.